Welcome back to Frequently Asked Questions About Tattoos with Wes. I am your host, Wes. So I get this question a lot. So I figured, why not make a video about it? How did I get into tattooing? What was my first tattoo? Basically, a little bit of about Wes from the start. So here we go. When I was 6 years old, I knew I wanted to get tattooed. This is no bullshit, 100% true. My grandfather was a World War II vet. He was a blue collar. He was a sign painter and pinstriper up in Maple Heights, Ohio. That's near Cleveland. And so every day around lunch, he would go to the drinking store, which was this little shotgun bar. If I happened to be with him, he'd take me there, sit me up at the bar. I'd get a little Coca-Cola and a bag of chips. He would get a beer, sit there with his cigarettes and talk with his World War II buddies. And even though my grandfather didn't have any tattoos, his World War II buddies would have these old faded tattoos, the classic skunk with the Navy hat or the panther crawling up the arm. And these things were just, black and blue, purple blobs by this time on these guys. But I was enamored with them. I didn't know what they were. I just knew it was cool. I knew I wanted to get tattoos right then and there. Kind of fast forward. So I'm a child of the 80s. Um, Definitely fell into loving metal. And Motley Crue comes out with their third album, and they're sleeved up. They got back pieces, and that was it. That was the nail in the coffin. I knew whatever I was going to do for a living, it had to be something that I could be completely covered in tattoos with. I was absolutely obsessed. Uh, I couldn't turn 18 quick enough. We kind of fast forward. I start getting tattoos when I'm 18. I go to culinary school. Tattoos are definitely, even though they still weren't really accepted, culinary school wasn't a mainstream job. And definitely a lot of outcasts worked in the kitchens or just the restaurant business. I still know people today. It lures in the outcasts already, anyways. But I was a chef, got burned out from being a chef. Like I said, my grandfather was an artist, so I liked to draw, I liked to paint. Art kind of ran in the family. My aunt's an artist. So I took my piece of shit portfolio and started banging on the 22 doors probably that were in Columbus that were tattoo shops, a lot less popular, and ultimately came across Tattoos by Kevin presents Body Stain Productions. And he was the only person who didn't say no. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no. So I just started showing up 2 days a week on my days off from the kitchen to just be the shop bitch for free, Windex and windows, going on lunch runs for these guys, vacuuming, cleaning toilets, kept my mouth shut, didn't want to disrupt anything or interrupt anything, kind of just played the gray man, but the useful gray man, in hopes that Kevin would start to slide me tips and tricks and maybe I could be a tattooer. And slowly I started making needles. He started entrusting me. I was allowed to and invited to watch him tattoo. He would explain things. Um, and that kind of just rolled into my official apprenticeship until one day we've got the booth built, and this young gentleman comes in the Body Stain and he wants the NBA logo. And I go up to Kevin and tell him there's a gentleman here who wants an NBA logo tattoo. And he tells me, knock it out. So my first tattoo I ever did was an NBA logo on a gentleman at Body Stain. The rest is history. This was in 1997, and I've been tattooing ever since. I did open up Body Language in 99 on Hamilton Road. In 2014, I brought Joey Knuckles on as a partner. In 2018, I decided to open up a gym. And so I sold the remaining shares of Body Language. And that's when then Joey Knuckles and Chris Hensel became the exclusive owners of Body Language. A little thing called COVID happened, disrupted the flow of the gym and the coaching. So I had been missing tattooing anyways and needed a career again. So got back into tattooing. Didn't know if it was going to be temporary, permanent, part time. Not sure what was happening, but kind of just dove back in, got my feet wet, fell absolutely in love with it. And this was really cool because now I got to fall in love with it not as a shop owner with those responsibilities, but simply as a tattooer. So 100% of my focus could go on my customers. None of it was diluted towards running a successful business and being in charge of other people making a living. So it was nice. There was a lot less pressure, and then there was a lot more personal resources to push into my artwork, into my development as a tattooer, into my customer service. And here we are now. It's 2023. I absolutely love it. It's the only thing I do. Full-time tattooer. Don't own the shop. Love putting 100% into tattoos and the experience for you guys. So that is the long story made as short as I can of about Wes and his tattoo journey. Cheers.